Hi, I'm attorney Armando Edmiston, and today I want to talk to you about an issue that should make you angry, not mildly concerned. You should be outraged. Under Florida's TNC statute, which is 627.748, companies like Uber and Lyft have been given broad immunity when there is sexual assault or sexual harassment claims. And when you compare that to drug and alcohol suspicion, okay, not even convictions, but just suspicion, under the law, Uber and Lyft must take those drivers offline and not allow them to continue to transport passengers for a fare. However, when there's a sexual assault or an allegation of sexual harassment, they have zero obligation to do anything, which means that passengers are still at risk. Riders are still risking their lives when they're getting into an Uber or Lyft when somebody has already been accused of either harassing another person or sexually assaulting another person. And to me, that is outrageous. And you should not allow that to happen. The law is broken and it needs to be changed. So think twice before you get into an Uber or Lyft and think that you're safe from sexual harassment and sexual abuse when the law does not allow you any protection. Not only does it not allow you any protection, but recently the District Court of Appeals have dismissed a complaint against Lyft for sexual assault when the company is saying that they have no responsibility when the driver sexually abused a rider.
So what that really means in a lot of this issue with the immunity case is, you could imagine if you were to call Lyft and say, hey, I think my driver was high. I feel like he might have been smoking some weed. Or hey, I think my driver might have had a couple of drinks tonight. What's gonna happen is Lyft, Uber, they're gonna take that driver right off their roster, off the calendar. They're gonna investigate it. They're gonna figure out whether that allegation is true or not before they let them back on the list to drive and haul other people around. But you can go ahead and call Lyft and Uber and say, I was sexually assaulted by my driver. My driver was sexually harassing me tonight. Too bad. They're not gonna do anything about it. That's what this immunity thing has done for these companies. What Uber and Lyft have to do is say, well, we did our background checks and they didn't show up on the National Registry of Sex Offenders. We looked into their history and we don't see a conviction, so without the conviction, we don't have to do anything about it. Too bad. That's disgusting, okay? If I can say, or you can say, I think the driver might have had a drink tonight and they're not allowed to drive until an investigation's done, they should do the same exact thing when you say, hey, my driver assaulted me sexually. These companies who make billions of dollars pretending that they're safe, their systems are safe, their services are safe, shouldn't be allowed to just say, too bad. There's no conviction, so we don't have to take them off. You're not protected until a conviction happens. But when's a conviction gonna happen? 2 years from the time the police open the case, if they're able to move forward. But the suspicion of a drink, the suspicion of some marijuana, how does that not come to the same level? You need to complain to your government leaders, the senator, your governor, congressman, reps, all of them. Make them change this law. We're in a position where companies have more rights than people.
And that's just outrageous and unacceptable. And it should also be unacceptable to you.